How do we restore trust after a public misstep? How do we restore trust? You restore trust with contact, care, and correction, not just communication. It was all about the press station. Did we get a press statement out? It was all about the press statement. Did we get our press statement out? Did we let the world know that that's not what the organization about? Did we apologize? Did everybody who's in the public eye know that what this organization really stands for? But was there care? The contact and the care and the correction were missing. It was more about communicating the right message for the organization rather than the care and the contact. But you have to do that first going forward. You have to restore your trust by the public by making contact with those who've been impacted, showing them care, and correcting that this does not happen again. This is not who we stand for, whether we're in business, whether we're in our homes, we're in life in general. That is not what we're all about. Galatians 6:2 tells us about carrying one another's burden. But burden carrying doesn't just happen on stage, it happens after. The stage is one thing, but what happens after we're on stage? Those two presenters were humiliated. They kept their composure, they did their part, they lead well, and they presented and they walk off the stage with their dignity intact because they did their jobs in spite of what they were experiencing. As we get into the fifth pillar, it says scale increases stewardship. Scaling your business increases stewardship. The larger your platform, the greater your responsibility. The larger your platform, the greater your responsibility. High visibility organizations carry more weight, not less. Scale magnifies excellence, and it magnifies oversight. So the question is not, did you mean for that to happen? The real question is, were we prepared to protect the dignity when it did? In this case, no. So here's our questions around this pillar: scale increases stewardship, because every large organization understands that greater visibility comes greater responsibility. So does scale increase responsibility? Yes, it does, because your decisions now shape culture, not just outcomes. Your decisions, every decision you make for an organization, especially one such as large as this, your decisions shape outcomes. Your decision shapes culture, not just outcomes, right? Our second question: what does stewardship mean in high visibility environments? Well, stewardship means this: I own the environment I profit from. I own it. It's your environment, it's your stage, it's your organization. You own it. So whatever going on in that organization, be it positive or negative, you own it. You're the leader. Everything rises and falls on leadership. That's what John Maxwell says. All right? So you own it. You own the platform. You own the environment where you profit. Right? Third question: are you building a system? Are you building a system that protects dignity or just performance? Are you building a system that protects dignity or just performance? If your system protects the show but not the people, it's not a system, it's a machine. I will say that again, because if your system protects the show but not the people, it's not a system, it's a machine. Luke 12:48 tells us, to whom much is given, much is required. That's the Bible saying. Scale comes with a receipt. Scaling comes with a receipt. You're profiting from this business. So you're responsible for the environment, for the organization, for the business, for wherever you find yourself that you profit from. To whom much is given, much is required. Scale comes with a receipt. Here's a checklist that any leader who've had a public misstep can follow. After any harmful moment, leaders should ask themselves 3 questions immediately. 1, who was impacted? 2, who was assigned care? And 3, what changes need to happen so that this event never happens again? Who was impacted? Who was assigned care? And what's next so that this event never occurs again? That's what you do in real time as leaders. Leadership is tested most clearly when something unscripted happens. And what do you do next? Not just publicly, but privately. Determines whether trust deepens or it fractures. What you do, not just publicly, but privately determines whether trust deepens or whether it is fractured. So if you lead anything, ask yourself, do I have systems for crisis? One question. Ask yourself this, do I prioritize impact before explanation? Ask yourself this, do I follow up privately when harm occurs? Ask yourself, am I stewarding influence with maturity? Most leaders think that the test is the stage, but the real test is the green room. Because the stage is where you protect the brand. The green room, the private places, where no one sees, where cameras are not rolling, it's where you prove you have a soul. And here's the part that should shake all of us. Some of you are building organizations where people can be hurt in public and forgotten in private. That's not leadership. That's extraction. Micah 6:8 says, do justly, love mercy, walk humbly. You see, justice says, name the harm. Mercy says, hold complexity. Humility says, change the system. If you want to imagine greater, we must lead greater. If you want to imagine greater, you must lead greater.
A brand new episode of Imagine Greater with Michelle Bethel Gibson drops next week.
Massive compensation shift. Historic movement. Everyone is celebrating what just happened in the WNBPA, the Women's National Basketball Players Association. But we here at Imagine Greater, we didn't just see a win. We saw a mirror. And we're asking ourselves as leaders, what did it cost to get there and what are you willing to pay for it? Because here's the truth. Some of us want the outcome, but we are not committed to the process. Joining me today is my amazing podcast producer, Cynthia Dyer.
Subscribe or follow to get notified.